Welcome to Weeping Willow Homestead and another What We Eat for Dinner in a Week. In these videos, I try to show you how I combine inexpensive Aldi groceries with food that we are blessed with from the food pantry to make hopefully well-balanced, well-rounded meals. We as a family generally eat low carb because my husband and I have to for health reasons, and as the sole cook in the house, it is just easier for me to cook one thing rather than try to short order cook it or to cook two separate meals. But you'll see variations to that, and I'll explain it as we go. So tonight's dinner, my husband is due in tonight, and he wasn't sure when he was going to get home, so I had two dinners that I was going to flip-flop between depending on whether he was going to be home or not. So he is not going to make it home for dinner, so I went ahead and made the more kid-friendly meal, I guess you could say. So tonight we have 2 packs of smoked sausage that we get from Aldi, and I just cut those open and cooked them in this pan. And earlier today I had cooked a little bit of bacon in it, so what a shame. They have extra yummy, delicious bacony flavor, but that's why they kind of have these little black bits on them, is because the bacon was starting to get a little overcooked, the little leftover oil that was in there. With that is 2 cans of sweet peas from the food pantry, and then 2 boxes of this Puppies and Kittens Annie's mac and cheese. Just 2 boxes of that made up, and my 8-year-old loves to make that himself, so I usually let him kind of take charge of that. Obviously, if you have eaten low carb in your lifetime, you know that peas and pasta are not on the table. I chose to eat something for lunch that is not setting super well with my delicate tummy. And so this is not, I'm probably not going to even eat the sausage. I have some leftovers still in the refrigerator that I think I'm going to pull some of those out that are a little bit more gentle on the tummy, and that's completely fine with me. This is a very kid geared meal for my kids. So no big deal. Gets the rest of the leftovers from, well, some of the rest of the leftovers from last week used. So that is dinner for Monday night. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Tuesday night. Usually Tuesdays we have something taco, but tonight I just went off kilter. I don't know. So tonight I have had this flank steak in the freezer for a while now. I did not eat beef for a long time. I still don't. I'm not a big fan of it. So beef always intimidates me. So yeah, it's been in my freezer for a while. I got it out. I cooked it to package directions. With that, we have some of the chicken left over from Saturday night, and I just threw that on the broiler as well to reheat. No big deal. The kids will be having a pouch of dried mashed potatoes. It's the Hungry Jack country buttered ones we got from the food pantry a while back. My husband and I have mashed cauliflower, and I'm nailing it on getting it thick, y'all. Look, it even looks like mashed taters. And then with that, we are having some of the lettuce that we got from the food pantry today. Just super simple salad. I've got some shredded cheese. The kids like raisins on theirs. I have like 4 different dressings. Yeah. So that is Tuesday night's dinner. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Wednesday night. Tonight I made a smorgasbord of vegetables because, y'all, I have missed eating. And I'm so glad to generally be back to being able to eat everything normally. I do have to watch like lettuce and raw cabbage and those kind of things, but anywho, so I took the pork loin that we got from the food pantry and I cut it in half. So I thawed it out just enough that I could cut it. 1/2 I sliced into thin pork loin, like pork steaks. What do you want to call those? Yeah, steaks. Sure, we'll call it that. And I stuck those in the freezer for another day. The other half I just put in the crock pot and cooked it on high because it was frozen and it was like 1 o'clock before I put it in there. And then I shredded that, and when I plate that up, I will put barbecue sauce on everybody's because I have low carb barbecue sauce for my husband and I and regular for the kids. With that, for the kids, I warmed up the leftover mac and cheese, and all I did was add some chicken broth to it and put it in the pan and kind of slowly heated it so it didn't burn or anything. And then the kids will also be having the leftover mashed potatoes and a secret ingredient of about a half a cup of leftover butternut squash. And I just mix that up with some flour, an egg, a little bit of seasoned salt just to kind of do something different, and like a handful of shredded cheddar cheese. These are also really good with like green onions, bacon bits, those kind of things in them, kind of make a loaded baked potato. And then I just fry them in a little bit of oil in the bottom of a pan. For my husband and I knew I wanted to do some sauteed zucchini because that sounded really good with some mozzarella cheese on it. We've had that fancy Tillamook mozzarella cheese from the food pantry last week, and that just sounded good because we did that with the zoodles and it was good. But then I was like, I have no idea what else I'm going to make. So during the summer, I usually can green beans because we don't have a whole lot of freezer space. We have 2 small deep freezers. So I'm kind of limited on freezer space. I love fresh sauteed green beans. Love them. So I usually freeze up like 10 packages or so of green beans fresh to have throughout the winter until green beans come out next year out of the garden. So my husband, I said something about green beans, but I'm kind of burnt out on green beans. And I was like, ooh, unless I make fresh green beans. And he's like, that does sound good, with a bunch of garlic on it. And then I also drizzled on a little bit of that, which I picked up from the food bank like a month ago and haven't used a whole lot of it. It's not super low carb, so I just put a little bit on there, but just to kind of give it a different flavor. So I am so eating a giant serving of that. I can tell you that right now. So that is a very vegetable-y, very side-filled Wednesday night. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, so tonight's dinner is going to look a little different. The power went out at 3 o'clock this afternoon and just came on about 15 minutes ago. We had a really nasty, like, windy storm that blew through, and several power lines were knocked down in the area. So it is now 6:23, and I could go ahead and make dinner, but I had told the kids if the power didn't come back on, we would probably do snacky dinner, and they all love snacky dinner, so they were all bummed about the power coming back on. So we went ahead and went with snacky dinner. If you are new here, this is actually what we do for dinner every Sunday evening. I pull out things that you would traditionally have on like a charcuterie board, and I get out paper plates and I let the kids pick and choose whatever they want on their plates. So let me walk you through what we've got tonight. There are dehydrated apples, some raisins. These are dried cherries. A lot of times we'll have dates and prunes as well. I just don't have any of those right now. We have some hard-boiled eggs. This is a jar of homemade pickles. Some meat sticks and salami, and then these are from the food pantry the other day. So yum, those sound really good. There's some graham crackers, and we do peanut butter, and they can either have a spoonful of peanut butter, or I will spread peanut butter and make like a peanut butter sandwich with the graham crackers. There's a few different kinds of goat cheese. It's looking a mess in there. Some kids have helped themselves. There is some cherry tomatoes. There's some baby carrots. There's cheese sticks. You could do any kind of dried fruits, dried meats, cheeses, nuts, seeds, anything that you traditionally would put on a charcuterie board. Dig it out and serve it. I also usually have a box of all of the dessert type things, and I'll let the kids pick a couple of items out of it, like a cookie and some Skittles, or some gummy bears and a piece of chocolate, or whatever, you know, just kind of whatever I have on hand. So that is a weird dinner for tonight. I don't know what my husband's having. There's some leftover smoked sausage. There's some other things. I think I'm going to get out a chicken thigh and throw in the air fryer, and then I may do some zucchini fries because that sounds really good with the garlic aioli from Aldi. But yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. So that is Thursday night's dinner. We'll see you tomorrow night. It is Friday night, and Friday night at our house means pizza night. Sometimes that's homemade, sometimes that's store-bought, sometimes it's a cross between the two. Almost never is it takeout because we live too far away from any takeout places for them to deliver. And I can make a whole lot of frozen pizzas for a lot cheaper. So Tonight is kind of a cross between the two of homemade and store-bought because these are the garlic non-flatbreads that we picked up from the food bank earlier this week, right? Was it this week? My days are running together. So there were 4 of them in the package. So I did 2 of them as pepperoni and then 2 of them as Hawaiian with just some lunch meat ham that I diced up and some pineapple. And then with that, we're going to do green beans. My husband is not here tonight, so I did not make pizza for us. We had friends over for lunch today, and I indulged a little bit too much in some not tummy-friendly food. And so I am paying for it now in just some indigestion and not feeling great. So I am not in the mood for dairy or cheese or anything like that. Instead, I have a chicken thigh in the air fryer, and I'm going to probably eat that plain with maybe some green beans. I might do a cup of like mint tea or something like that. I'm not hungry, aside from the indigestion, but I'm just, meh. Too many raw vegetables. I had some deviled eggs and then I had some nuts later. So, that's all right. This too shall pass. So that is Friday night's dinner. Oh, and tonight is the one night a week that we do dessert. For sure. Some other nights I will sometimes give the kids like a small piece of chocolate or a cookie or something like that just for fun. But Friday night is always dessert night, and sometimes I make something special. But tonight, I think I'm just going to have the kids pick out of the box of desserty type things that we have from the food pantry. Or we also have a jar full of candy from parades and church things and whatnot. So I'm just going to let them kind of pick whatever they want tonight. So that is Friday night. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Saturday night. Saturday night, usually I make a big meal. I had the pork steaks out from the food pantry the other day, and aside from that, I had nothing planned, which a lot of times that's what I'll do, is I'll have the main meat planned, and then I'll just come up with vegetable sides. But I had one of those days where I had zero motivation to do anything. I washed dishes and filled my vitamins, and that was pretty much all that I did that was productive today. I just did not wanna. And my stomach is still, I can tell that like my intestines, my digestive system is still pretty inflamed from overindulgence yesterday. So that was also playing into just feeling crummy. So yeah, I threw the meat under the broiler with just some like seasoned salt type stuff on it. There is 2 pouches of the instant mashed potatoes, cooked 2 directions. We have enough deviled eggs left from yesterday to have the kids each have 1. And then we had the spring mix from the food pantry that needed eaten. It was one of those where my brain was going, oh, I'll eat that, but my stomach is not ready for lettuce yet. So I had 1 serving of it, and then the kids have eaten the rest of it. So I did have to pick around some bad places in it, which goes into the compost, which gets taken out to the garden, which the chickens will eat, and they will be very happy to have some fresh greens. So still no waste. For me, I am not a big pork fan, or at least straight pork. I like cured pork, like bacon, sausage, smoked sausage, those kind of things that are kind of flavored. But I'm just not a big pork fan. Never really have been. So for lunch today, I made this like super simple soup. It was leftover cut up broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots from yesterday that we had for lunch. The rest of the pulled pork, half of a pint of broth, maybe a little bit. No, it was a half pint of broth because then I added some water to it and a chicken bouillon cube. And when it was done, I added just a little cheddar cheese to it. So a nice simple meal or a simple soup. And I had that for lunch, and that sounds really good. I'm not super hungry. I've not actually been hungry all day today. Did I even eat breakfast this morning? I don't think I even ate breakfast this morning, or at least I don't remember eating breakfast this morning. So yeah, my digestive system just needs a break. So fasting is just fine. I have felt fine. I'm not like lightheaded or weak or anything like that. I just don't feel like doing anything. So yeah, I'm gonna have this, and that is completely and totally crazy cool with me. So we're even gonna eat in the living room and watch a movie while we eat. So that is Saturday night's dinner. If you are new here, this is the end of our meals of the week. On Sunday, when we get home from church, excuse me, if we go to church, we have not been in like 3 weeks because of me not feeling well, and it's supposed to snow overnight tonight, so I don't even know if we're going to go tomorrow. I would love to get back in my church. I love my church family. But when we go to church, when we get home from church for lunch, I pull out any leftovers from the week. And then I let the kids pick and choose whatever they want, and we warm up plates in the toaster oven. If they want pork chops, pulled pork, and a hot dog, I don't care. That's fine. If they want nothing but vegetables, okay. If their plate is completely brown, whatever. Yeah, it's fine. Because it gets the leftovers used up. And that's awesome. I absolutely hate food waste, so I love the fact that we use up leftovers. We very rarely have any, and if we do, it's a tiny amount, which gets fed to the chickens, and they make us eggs, so still no waste. For Sunday dinner, I pull out things that you would... Oh, wait, you saw that. You saw that on... What day of the week was it? I don't even remember. The day of the week that we had no power. That would have been Thursday. So that's what I pull out on Sunday evenings, and I even bust out the paper plates, and the kids just pick and choose whatever they want, and then I don't have to cook. I generally try to honor the Sabbath on Sunday. I know that's controversial because the Sabbath is Saturday, and yeah, but we do what we can with what we've got. I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do dishes, I don't do laundry. I really try to focus on just taking the day off. Enjoying my family, enjoying church. We usually play board games, watch TV, just goof off and enjoy the day. So that is our meals of the week. I don't think I made anything that has a recipe to it this week, but if I did, I will put it in the show notes. Thanks for hanging in on this one. I know it was a little interesting. So I thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all have a great day. Sorry. I love you guys. Have a great day. Goodbye and God bless.